All right, you are looking live at the Nasdaq daily chart, and we just saw a rotation today. It's the first day, the first session of October. It's October 2nd, the first session of the fourth quarter. We have 13 weeks left in the year, and it started off pretty good for the technology stocks and pretty much terrible for everything else. So the rotation was out of energy, utilities, industrials, construction. It was into technology, and specifically mega cap technology held up best today. I've been showing you this is the daily chart now, this head and shoulder pattern, which came to fruition for the shorts with the the Gumby shoulder here on this side, and they got a nice sell off here. But this thing stopped going down here after the double bottom pattern. Made another low. It undercut the 13,161, came down to 12, 963 or something last week, and then bounced. So it stopped going lower, right? So when they stop going lower, they're probably going to go the other way, and that's what it's done the last four sessions. Yeah, the 963 was the low here, and the bears were obviously pointing to this head and shoulders where the market's going to crash and there's a recession coming. There's all sorts of negative narratives out there, but the bulls are still pointing to this weekly chart, which just kind of shows a big move up and then a consolidation, which forms a cup with handle pattern. And if I go back to the daily, I just want to point out this move here from 446 down to 12,963 was a garden variety 11.4% pullback, digestion, consolidation, whatever you want to call it in the Nasdaq. But it's from July 19th to was it September 27th? What was this date here? Yeah, the 27th. Okay, that was probably about 10 weeks of just pretty good selling there and profit taking. And so maybe the digestion is over and this thing now wants to move higher here as we head into October in the fourth quarter. We'll just take it one day at a time, but the last four sessions have certainly been a positive. We're looking for a follow-through day. Today was day 4. We didn't get it because the volume wasn't above the prior session and it was not more than a 1% gain, although 88-point gain and a 0.67% is a nice day for the Nasdaq. Close at 13,307, and I'm going to move on. We're going to look at individual stocks. Obviously, when the Nasdaq is up like that, then these Magnificent Seven stocks are going to carry the day. They certainly did today. Apple, same pattern as the Nasdaq, where it's got this double bottom type of move here, and then stop going lower, and it's been up the last 3 sessions. So Microsoft, same deal. You can see the kind of the double bottom shape, and it's been up the last 4 sessions. Just like the index, a lot of these are mirroring the index. Google has been a little stronger because it's above its 50 and it's 10 and it's 21. So it's above all moving averages, which is different from Microsoft and Apple, which is well below. And these 10, the green is the 10, the magenta is the 21. They're downtrending, but it's short term, and these things can turn up really fast. Google was up 2.53% today. So I believe that is the strongest one of these stocks, mega cap tech stocks. This is Amazon, same thing, the double bottom pattern up the last 4 sessions. Meta, another one that's strong like Google, because the only reason why I say they're stronger is because the others are trading below the 50, and Meta and Google are above the 50. And perhaps, I don't know, it's because of their, AI plans. I don't want to speculate. I don't have to speculate. I just know that if they're above the 50, they're stronger than the other mega cap tech stocks. And NVIDIA is the last one. This one ominously hit up its head up against the 50 today, which and then got rejected there. 449.45 was the 50 today. You can see these are downtrending. But like I say, they can move up quickly if it can power through here and have a big day and trade through that 450 area and start making a move towards the 500. We just got to take it one day at a time. But same thing. I mean, it stopped going down, right? When the Nasdaq made that lower low last week, NVIDIA didn't, and now it's pressing up against the 50, and it's been up the last 4 days as well. So NVIDIA it's one of the kingpins here, one of the one of the stocks that really got to watch. Tesla's another one. They had deliveries today, which disappointed, but it's hit its head up against its 50 today. It's right there. I mean, you can see it's closed just a tick above it. So another stock to watch in the mega cap space. Okay, I mentioned the rotation. They came out of the energy stocks today. I'm waiting for this. I've been talking about this AMR for a while and how this thing has just been ripping out of consolidation, and today pulled back 3%, and that's kind of normal. When you have that much profit to take, you're going to take some profits, and all it really did is come down to its 10 and found support, and maybe it'll bounce. We'll see. Maybe it'll come down to the 21. I don't know. These are strong stocks, just some profit taking today. Another one that just came down to the 10 is CEIX. And they haven't really been given any breathing room here to try to get in. So today was a good day if people are trying to get into these things. This is a Warrior, and this one just pulled back to its 10. This one found support and bounced pretty strong there, because it was down to 48.03 and closed at 64% of its daily range. So yeah, it was down 2.29%, but it was down way more, and just came down to the 10 and found support. So I wouldn't call that a bounce. It just definitely found support though. And so it's probably like machine trading. Anyway, what else were they selling? Well, the oil and gas stocks too. Chevron came down to its 21. Nothing wrong here. This is a big battleship, pays a big dividend, and came down to its 21. Still, to me, it's just trying to emerge from this stage 1 base. There's nothing wrong with that. CRC though, the resources stock, I was making a joke about how any resource stock was going higher. This one sliced its 50 today. And the volumes come in pretty heavy the last couple sessions. So definitely danger, Will Robinson. That is a warning sign. Another one in this group, the exploration stock, is Devon, and this one is just getting crushed. Looked like a good short as it feebly rallied up to its 21 and got smacked down 4.3% today. Tidewater is another one that we we like and have on our leading stock list here at MC Stock Charts. It just pulled back to its 21 sharply though, 5% move down to the 21. So we'll see if it finds support and bounces there. And this is Weatherford, which pulled back to its 50 today and then closed at 89% of its daily range. So big, impressive comeback from 87.74 all the way to 90.54, nearly a $3 bounce. And the first pullback to the 50 since the breakout from the base is usually a pretty good sign that the stock is going to get supported and bounce a little bit and not just fall back to the 200. Anyway, that's enough for the energy. The utilities, I got to mention these things are just getting smacked around. Even though they pay a good dividend, these things are just getting sold off. Hawaii got involved with the the Maui fires. That one is under pressure. PCG is the PG&E out there in California. Pacific Gas and Electric, and wow, that is quite a move to the downside. For PG&E, one that I owned and I buy monthly. This one, if you own them and are buying them monthly and don't care about, if you're just buying them for the dividend, you really don't care about appreciation or their price. So you just get more stocks at lower prices. That's all. Anyway, this is just a different animal, different type of stock. The drug stocks got hit today. The Medicare deadline, Bristol Myers was down. AstraZeneca looks bad. Merck, another Dow component, selling off below this consolidation level. This is a pretty tough move here from 119 to 102 for Merck. They'll be reporting earnings in a couple of weeks though, and right now we're in between. The Fed has made their decision. The Fed's behind us. They're not going to be any more interest rates decision for a while, and earnings are a week or two ahead of us. So we're kind of in no man's land here, and so you just got to take it one day at a time. The mega cap tech stocks earnings were upgraded today though, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Why not just wait till they come out with the earnings? But Anyway, Quanta Services, this one is a construction. These things got hit hard today as well, as I mentioned earlier. This one's almost pulled back to its 200. Wow, that is a big move. See if it finds support there at its 40-week line there. What's the other one? STRL. This one did pull back to its 50 recently and found support, but not bouncing. So we need that one to bounce if you're, long that stock. And then construction partners, whatever, constructionpartners.net pull back to its 21. It looked like I found support because it closed 66% of its daily range. So found support, didn't crash through the 21 there. Anyway, that's enough of that. I want to take a look at some stocks that are holding up. And surprisingly, I'm going to retail because I could show you a ton of retail charts that are just horrible, but I'm going to go to the ones that are holding up. And this is a OLLI bargain outlet. Broke out of this base here, and this is the first pull back to the 50 last week. They're at 70, when it came down to 73, and now has bounced up to 77. So nice pullback and bounce for OLLI. ANF, this is Abercrombie and Fitch. This one gapped higher on earnings, pulled back to the 21, and is really showing strength. Today up 3.4% with good volume. So congrats to the longs with Abercrombie and Fitch. That one is definitely a breaking trend. COCO, this is one that came back to its 50 and now traded above it, above the 10, above the 21. So it's above all of its moving averages. So that's important day today, nearly a 5% move for COCO. And then Celsius, this is one that sold off. If the Nasdaq sold off 11.4%, like I said, you got to expect your growth stocks to trade, 20% lower, 2 times the index at least. And Celsius did have this rough little couple of weeks here, but it's only 16% below its 52-week high. So definitely watching this one to trade through its 50, and right now it's just a tick below it. So watching Celsius holdings closely. That's enough of the retail stocks. I do want to go to the semiconductors because it's very important. These semiconductors, I believe, with this artificial intelligence, I think these things, they don't have to carry the day, but they should be strong. And like I said, NVIDIA right here, bumping its head up against the, it's above the 10, above the 21, and now it's got to get through the 50. That one looks okay. Applied Materials, a big equipment stock. This one is below its 50, but trading higher the last 4 sessions. ACLS is another equipment stock below its 50, but it traded above its 10 and got found resistance here at the 21 today. So keep an eye on that one. AEHR, they report earnings on Thursday, the 5th. And shaping up in the nice little cup with handle pattern here. I believe the duration is not long at all, 9 weeks. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that one after earnings on Thursday after the market closes. VRT is another one, data center, semiconductor kind of AI play. And this one traded below its 21 and recaptured it. It's been up 4 days in a row. Today it was up 3.25% with strong volume. SMCI is another one in that group. I talked about this breaking its downtrend line, and people really hesitant, give me some pushback on this one because it was below its 50. Now I understand that, it's better to wait for that 287, what is it, crossed above, and then if you're super conservative, that 298.35, let this thing prove itself. It did close today above the 50. It's 3.9%. Had a nice day. 5% move is a nice day for any stock. But this one, to me, just consolidation here. It sold off after earnings. It got a little bit ahead of itself. And now it's, formed this kind of like a double bottom pattern like we've seen with the Nasdaq. It traded down to 231 and undercut this 235. And now it's just the trading within this little box here. And if it can break above this box, this thing moves fast. That's all I'm going to say. If you're not long, I don't think you missed out on anything. Yeah, it's been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, 8 days in a row, straight off the bottom at that 231. So it's definitely stock going down. Now it's going the other way. So I don't know what you want to call FOMO or not. It's way off its high. So it's not like you're chasing it at its high. It's 19% off its high. So anyway, that's enough of SMCI. The last group I'm going to cover is the cybersecurity stocks, which is, again, I think is pretty important here. CrowdStrike is just inching its way and out of this base. It's just like just crawling out of its base here. But I want to see this thing emerge and start moving higher above that 160, 172.64. There's several buy points for CrowdStrike, but if it can make this new high above 172.64, I think that would induce more buyers here. Short-term high anyway. Zscaler, another stock showing strength recently. The last 4 sessions, it's been up, like the Nasdaq. It was up 3.4% today, and just consolidating in this base here, right? I mean, if you're, it's been a while. It's just got this little box here that is trying to bust out of that 167 areas. An area of interest for me. OKTA, this is more, I got to look at the weekly chart on OKTA. This thing's been trying to emerge out of this stage 1 base for a long time, and it just can't do it. It's only 11.8% off of its 52-week high. 1.5 up-down volume, but yeah, OKTA needs some higher octane move here. I don't like this one as much as CrowdStrike and Zscaler. Anyway, Arista Networks, I talked about how the Nasdaq made that low from the high from July 19th and made a low on September 27th. This one didn't even come close to making a low. In fact, it broke out of this base, made a high of 198.70, and then pulled back to the 50 for the first time since breaking out of the base, which turned out to be, I wouldn't call it a gift, but an opportunity. And now it's traded above it, undercut the 50, now rallying through it. Arista Networks looks strong to me. Spotify, another software name, it's not cybersecurity, but this is another one that's setting up. I got to look at the weekly here. This little consolidation area, only 9 weeks again. These bases are not real long, and that's about how long the Nasdaq has been selling off, like 9-10 weeks. So stands to reason that these stocks would not have huge bases. Akamai is another one that gapped up on what day was this? August 9th, and just has been consolidating in a base. Now it's pushed, traded back to its 21 here today. So that's an area of interest. And anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Except in honor of Steve Jobs, I have one more thing, and that is Novo Nordisk. Today, if you looked at the 5-minute chart, Novo is it had a favorable decision in a Wegovy ruling and just screamed higher. But actually, this is a 5-minute chart, but if you look at the daily, it's again, it broke out of its base here on August 8th, and it kind of drifted back to its 50 and then found support here at the 50 today and bounced slightly. I would expect a bigger bounce here from NVO, but they did split their stock 2 for 1. And once again, this is just setting up in a base. These things need time. After a big move like that, this thing needs time. It's just kind of consolidating here in this little box area. So I look for it to trade above that 188, and it doesn't have earnings till November 2nd. They're going to be blockbuster. But NVO is, if you look over time, NVO has been a big winner. Tomorrow, or I don't know, tomorrow or the next day or sometime this week, I'm going to get into the Birkenstock IPO, because the IPO markets have been way overvalued. And Birkenstock is the same thing. It's coming to market with like a $9.5 billion market cap. And I'm going to get into that when that thing comes. But there's been some real stinkers here recently in the IPO market. Little cute maple bears losing everybody money. The one that I liked was Shark Ninja. This one, it was probably undervalued. This is the one with the earnings and the sales growth and real quietly came to market. This thing's just been steadily grinding higher. And anyway, That's it for me. This is real this time. I'm out. Thank you for watching, and at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up, ever.